thanks to Mistplay for sponsoring today's video. Hey, what's up everybody? Happy holidays. I hope you are having a cozy, snuggly holiday season. It's your girl Merle, and we are going to be doing something I'm very excited about today. I've had this on my list of ideas for quite a while, and you know, I was inspired by the stuff that has been done before by like creators like Barrel, who tries their followers authentic recipes from around the world, has people call in and they play their video, and I think that's a cool idea. And oftentimes in my videos I see a lot of you saying, there's this amazing Mexican vegan dish I really want you to try. There's this incredible Indian recipe that's naturally vegan. I'm taking the feedback and we're gonna make some of your guys' favorite vegan holiday dishes. It is not unbeknownst to me that I am a white woman recreating vegan cuisine from all different cultures in different parts of the world. So I just want to let you know, like, elephant in the room, I realize that. There's a lot of white women that do that and have made money doing that. So I've done my best to find the most authentic sources I possibly can. I made sure to find recipes from people that actually belong to the culture from which the dish is coming, not just like some white lady in Missouri that's making enchiladas, you know, and calling them authentic. And I'll be sure to shout out the creators so you guys can go follow them, check them out, and look for more awesome recipes from them. So we're gonna do this as respectfully as we possibly can. And of course, let me know, I know you will, if there's any way you think I could represent these cultures better or that I could pay homage to them in any other way. Now, I was gonna try to actually recreate some of your recipes, but not everyone submitted a recipe. And so then it got kind of confusing because like the top voted ones in the comments, they didn't come with a recipe. So I just went to find the traditional ones and then look for a creator who is from that culture or that part of the world and follow their recipe. Ones that were top rated, uprated, that people like. You know, I'm not gonna be using Tiffany from Ohio's authentic chickpea curry recipe. Nothing against you, Tiffany, you seem like a nice lady. I'm only doing 3 recipes in this one. We're gonna do a part 2 as well, and then maybe we'll do a part 3. But I mean, the holidays are, I don't know how long I can make holiday recipes without it being, you know, I'm not gonna like doing that in January probably, or February, but. Speaking of being late for the holidays, if you're like me, you probably still have to buy a few gifts for people. Or maybe you're feeling kind of broke from the gifts you already bought. Most for other people and then also for yourself. Well, lucky for you, today's video is sponsored by Mistplay, where you can actually play games on your phone and earn gift cards. I mean, if you're someone who loves mobile games, what's the only thing that can make them better? Exactly. Finding a way to make it productive. So the next time you have an interaction like this, hey, you whippersnapper, stop playing that mobile game. Ha! Joke's on you, Grandpa. Just by discovering and playing mobile games, I can earn rewards towards gift cards with Mistplay. Mistplay is a loyalty app for those of us who love playing mobile games. Mistplay offers a huge catalog of mobile games across different genres like puzzle, word, strategy, adventure, and more. And while you're playing, you earn points towards redeeming gift cards. You can redeem your points for gift cards from brands like Xbox, PlayStation, Visa, Amazon, and many more. Over $60 million in gift cards has already been redeemed. My favorite game on there right now is Triple Tile. And let me tell you, I thought it was just gonna be a fun little game, nothing to worry about. I'm hooked. Honestly, I think I might be a savant for the game. In fact, my points right now are going towards my daily iced matcha latte. You can even get 200 bonus points just for signing up today. Visit mistplay.com/Merle and use my code Merle inside the app to get free points that you can put towards redeeming your next gift card. GG's gamers. And thank you again, Mistplay, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so the first dish we're doing comes from Mexico. We're gonna be doing a Mexican pozole, which is like a red soup or stew from Mexican cuisine, and it is commonly eaten around the holidays or celebrations, so I'm very excited. It's good for like nice cold winter cozy mealtime. I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. I'm going to do my absolute best. Pozole is a traditional soup, or it's like a stew that tends to have vegetables, pork, lots of chilies. One of the key ingredients in this dish is hominy, and that is a white corn that is soaked in a lye solution, liquid solution, and it kind of like puffs up and engorges. That's something I'd never heard of before. I actually didn't know what hominy was, so I'm learning a lot already. And we're gonna be using a few different kinds of chilies, guajillo chili, and I've got the pasilla ancho. There were like 4 different kinds of peppers in the recipe that I found. 2 of them were optional, so I tried to order all of them. The ones that just ended up being out of stock, luckily, were 2 that were optional. I'm sure different families have different ways of making this, so you know, I'm never gonna be able to make everyone happy, but I did my best to stick to this as much as I possibly could. One thing we want to do right off the bat is get some water boiling, because we're going to de-seed the peppers and then we're going to put them in the boiling water so that they kind of soften, and then we're going to end up blending them up. The site that this recipe is from is called MexicanMadeMeatless.com, and I'll absolutely link that in the description so you can go check them out. What we need for this recipe is guajillos chiles, dried ancho chiles, dried pasilla chiles. I got pasilla ancho chiles, and that's why I'm like a little unsure. And then also called for chiles de arbol. And then we need some vegetable broth, mushrooms, white onion, garlic, salt, Mexican oregano, which I ordered online. I will link that below as well. And bay leaves, and then we have some toppings that we'll do later. I know my pronunciations for things are probably horrible, and I'm so sorry in advance. I promise I'm trying my best here. All right, so we're gonna use 3 of these guajillo peppers. We're gonna want a little bowl for the seeds. So I'm just gonna use scissors to remove the stem and any of like the harder veins. This is so fun for me because I get to discover new ingredients, new traditional recipes. I feel like when I visit places, I really love to learn about a culture through its food. But since I'm vegan, it can be challenging because I don't wanna be that person that's like, can I get this traditional roasted duck without the meat, please? Time and place. Sometimes it's time and place. Some places obviously have vegan options. They have vegan businesses that are offering that service, but some places don't. And I'm not about to come in as a tourist and be like,
change your traditions for me.
I got pasilla ancho, so I don't know. I'm like, do I do 2? Do I do 4? I'll do 3. I'll do 3. Kind of smells like fruit leather. Are peppers fruit? In a dream world, I'd love to actually bring on creators from these cultures, but that would take a ton of time. Hopefully down the road, I can travel and meet people like the vegan Anthony Bourdain. I know he just rolled in his grave somewhere when I said that. But he would like me. I think he would. I really do. I shared a room with him once. Not like a hotel room. I kind of wish, but I was in the same room as him once is what I'm trying to say. He was doing a promotion for his whiskey and I got to go. I didn't talk to him because I was too scared. I regret that now. If you ever have the opportunity to ask a question to someone you admire or you like or you think is cool, just do it. Just do it. I mean, as long as the question's appropriate. And I know probably a bunch of you are like, he is such a meat eater. He hates vegetarians and vegans. I know. I love Kitchen Confidential. I find him very fascinating and I love his show. Sometimes it's hard to watch because there's a lot of meat. There's a lot of meat in a lot of different cultures, and sometimes it's certainly not really up my alley, but I love learning about other cultures and the traditions behind traditional meals. All right, we got our peppers de-seeded. Our water is taking its sweet time to boil. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in there now and let them boil for like, just until they get a little bit softer, probably like 15 minutes or so, and then we'll move on to the next step. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm adding in my half of a white onion and some garlic. I'm doing a little more than she recommended because I'm an absolute garlic fiend. And we're gonna I lowered it to a simmer. We're gonna let that simmer until the peppers have softened. All right, so our chile has softened and the onions and the garlic are a little more tender. So we are going to scoop these out and we're gonna blend them up. Let's get these in there. And it's all right if some liquid goes with it because we're gonna use about a half cup of this liquid anyway in there. I'm gonna take out about a half a cup of this liquid and don't get rid of it. I mean, you can use it for other soups or broths, or you could just like double the recipe if you want. Honestly, save it anyway because we might need more. We need to see how this blends together. In the meantime, we are going to head over. I'm gonna use this big soup pot and I'm gonna add in some olive oil and I'm going to saute some just plain old baby button or cremini mushrooms in there with some olive oil. Then I'm gonna use a colander and I'm going to strain this chili sauce over the top of it. And then I'm gonna add in some salt and the Mexican oregano. Then we're gonna add in our hominy and finally we're gonna pour in some vegetable broth and bay leaves and we're gonna stir that all up. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the heat up on that and I'm gonna let that simmer for like 30 to 45 minutes. And that's pretty much it. I'm excited to try this. All right, so we've got our pozole. It is all set and ready to go. I actually tracked down some vegan sour cream. I've never used this one before, so I have no idea if it's any good. So I'm gonna try it without that first. I'm gonna add a couple turnips in there for a nice little crunch. Oh man, that doesn't look pretty anymore. Let's give this a shot. Wow. Oh my gosh. That is so flavorful. It is like flavor powerhouse here. Let me try the hominy. Ooh, wow, that's really good. I like the texture. Yum. That's like a nice, cozy, I want to have that in my fuzzy socks. Delicious. It has like a powerful, earthy flavor to it. Now, I'm not going to like rank these because I feel like that's a ridiculous thing to do. As someone outside of the culture trying this dish, but also just trying a bunch of different dishes from different cultures. I'm not gonna be like pitting them against each other. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you this is really good. All right, let's try the sour cream. It's not that good. It's made from butter beans and oats? This should be better than this, but okay, it's not terrible. It's kind of growing on me now. Let me try it with it. Yeah, actually that's pretty damn good. You know I'm a soup girl. Like, you had me at soup. From my research, I learned that pozole is one of the oldest pre-colonial dishes in Mexican culture. There are 3 different kinds of pozole: pozole blanco, pozole verde, and pozole rojo. If I butchered the pronunciations of those, I apologize. Okay, on to the next. So our next recipe is going to be a German recipe. Now this is a German potato salad. I'm gonna try my best to pronounce this correctly. Schwabischer Kartoffelsalat. Potato salad, I'm guessing is what that means. And the recipe that I found is Swabian style. So I'm sure there are many different variations on this, as there are on all of these recipes and every recipe. So after we try this video, we'll see. If you guys want me to try your personal recipes, I can do that too, but you have to provide them. And I saw some of you did provide some, so that's great. But we'll see. I don't know. There's just so many different variations that I tried to find the most popular ones. But I don't know, you can let me know what you would prefer to see. This woman that I found, Kimberly, she was very strict in how this was to be prepared. She said she's tried hundreds of potato salads and that you need specific things to get it just right and specific methods to get it just right. So I'm gonna follow her instructions to the very best of my ability. In fact, I even ordered this type of vinegar she recommended, Surig Essig Essence, which is like essence of vinegar. It's like 25% acid instead of normal vinegar, which is 5% acid and 95% water. It's gonna be very potent, and you're not like supposed to like consume this on its own. But anyway, I wanted to get as close as I possibly could, so we're going the whole 9 here, okay? We're gonna make Kimberly proud. Now, traditionally, this potato salad is made with beef broth. We're obviously not gonna do that. I'm using this no beef broth. It's expensive, so I'm hoping that it's good. I've actually never used it. I usually just use vegetable broth, but she did say beef broth. It has to be beef broth, and strong beef broth at that. This ain't gonna be that, but we're doing our best here, okay? She said to use waxy potatoes. She mentioned a type of potato I had never heard of before and I could not find. So instead I'm using golden Yukon potatoes. And what's the rule of 3? There's 3 things of equal size-ish. I need to juggle them. You have no idea. There's like no other times for me to show that I can do that. All right, so we're gonna boil these in their skins. She said that's the best way to preserve the flavor. And she did also say I need to let them cool completely. This is a very strict recipe. I respect it. She knows what she wants. I am a Libra. I like directions. So let's boil these potatoes, shall we? Okay, so we have to hand peel our potatoes after we let them boil until they're fork tender. We're gonna take them out. We have to let them cool enough so that we can handle them. And once they cooled off, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna peel the skins off of those. In the meantime, I'm going to combine the vegan beef broth, vinegar, salt, white pepper, mustard, sugar, onions, and then of course I'm gonna add a couple splashes of the Essig Essen, or the extremely potent vinegar. Now I'm gonna let that come to a boil, and then I'm going to pour it over the top of my sliced potatoes. And now I'm gonna just let this sit for an hour. Let's try this. I'm gonna just put a little bit of chives over the top. I put it right in the fridge so it could be nice and cold. Ooh, damn. That is so good. It's nice and vinegary. This is one of those dishes that's just gonna get better the longer I keep it in the fridge. I'm excited to just have this all week. But man, oh man, my breath is gonna be popping after this. Okay, for the 3rd and final recipe today, we're gonna be doing a little dessert. We're gonna be making a Brazilian French toast that is traditional to have around Christmas time on Christmas Day, Rapanada. So this recipe is pretty easy to swap in, swap out the non-vegan things. It's really just milk and eggs. So instead of the milk, I'm gonna use oat milk. And instead of the eggs, I'm gonna use just egg. I've actually never made vegan French toast before, so I'm super excited because I haven't had French toast in a minute and it's so good. And of course, as with all of these recipes, there are a ton of different ways to do this. I found this nice man who I really liked his recipe. He seemed straightforward, to the point. Some people add like a lot of things like vanilla and all of that to theirs. Other people keep it really simple. This guy's kept it pretty simple. For the bread for this French toast, you can use Italian, you can use brioche, you can use challah bread. Up to you, whatever you want. And a lot of places said to use stale bread, so that's what I'm doing. I left this out overnight. Where did it go? Oh, actually just some French bread. I like French toasts that are like bigger slices because I like it when it's kind of like custardy in the middle, less of the crust on the outside. Like I don't want it to be too hard on the outside. So one of the principal things in this recipe is that we let the bread soak in the egg milk mixture. And people have different techniques, whether they pan fry it in oil or if they pan fry it in butter. We're gonna be doing it with vegan butter today. Some people add sugar and salt to theirs. I'll add a teeny little bit of sugar, I think, but I'm not gonna overcomplicate it too much. From the research that I did, they are a medieval Portuguese recipe that were introduced to Brazil by the Portuguese colonizers, and they were a way to avoid meat during Lent, and also to make use of stale bread. I've seen some recipes that use the sweetened condensed milk right in there with the whole milk. I'm obviously not gonna do that. I've also seen people eat it with honey. I think I'm gonna just drizzle a little maple syrup on top because that's what I got. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and make this. I will say the history of Rapanada is a little bit murky. Other than it coming from colonial Portuguese, there's other sources that say it goes further back into other cultures. There's also some that say it has religious roots, so forgive me, it was kind of hard to track it down. I couldn't even find a Wikipedia page for it, but please feel free to correct me in the comments and let me know. My mom used to make me French toast all the time when I was a kid. I usually ate it kind of like pancakes, like with butter and maple syrup, so I've not had it this way, which is gonna be with cinnamon and sugar. I really went back and forth on whether or not to use vanilla in this. It seems like it's a little bit fancier, but I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla because I found another woman who made it and she used vanilla, but she didn't use too much else. But then I saw another woman who seemed really legit, and actually her video had the most views, and she used sweetened condensed milk. We're gonna do it like this. If you wanna add sweetened condensed milk, you can. If you wanna not put in vanilla, you can. There are just so many variations that with these cultural dishes, I really don't wanna disrespect anyone. I know I can never make everyone happy, but it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm gonna add in some milk. 3 tablespoons of just egg is equal to 1 egg. I'm gonna add just a little teeny tiny pinch of salt and a little bit of vanilla extract. Whoa, something chemical is happening in there. Just egg is attacking the vanilla extract. Some recipes used neutral oil, like a canola oil or a vegetable oil to fry these, and some used butter. I'm gonna use butter. We're gonna go ahead and put these in there, this bread in there. We're gonna let it soak up the juices, if you will. All recipes say just don't let it soak too long, but let it soak enough. So that's specific. But actually I know exactly what they mean. You don't want it to get like soggy, but you do want it to absorb the liquid. Okay, so I don't know how good this just egg is working for this. It's kind of like just getting stuck to the bottom of the pan, but it smells pretty good in here. I mean, it's just the just egg is making it a little bit challenging, but it is kind of crisping up like French toast, so I think we're still okay. I put a hell of a lot of butter in there, so it shouldn't be sticking to anything. All right, and then we're gonna add some sugar, some organic cane sugar, and some cinnamon. I'm gonna mix those up. All right, now we're gonna just flip the toast right in there and get it nice and coated. Ooh, this looks really good. Wow, this looks so tasty. Holy moly. I don't think I need maple syrup on this. It's covered in sugar. Okay, I know there was a moment between me and the just egg, but this is incredible. I think I'm gonna start making this on Christmas. Hi, sweetie. You came just in time. I think you're gonna like this.
Oh, that's a lot of sugar.
I know.
That's a lot. Why is she so tall?
Isn't that so good?
One of the best food I've made.
It's a lot of sugar.
That's why I love it.
Why are you so high up?
No, that's fantastic. That's one of the best things you've ever made. It's delicious.
Okay. That was amazing. I had so much fun today. I have to say thank you guys for your recommendations for vegan holiday meals from around the world. I had so much fun trying them. This was a really fun note to end on. Thank you guys so much. If you want to see more of these videos, you want to see more cuisine from around the world, Let me know where you'd like me to pull recipes from. If you have family recipes you'd like me to try, let me know, drop them down below. I'm excited to do more of this series. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It helps so much more than you know. If one of your countries was represented in today's video, I hope I did an okay job. I certainly tried my best. If you have other ideas or ways for me to do better in the future, you let me know. Aria and I have a podcast called Borderline Inappropriate. If you're interested in that, go ahead, click on the link in the description. I've got a Discord. I got a TikTok. I got an Instagram. It's all there, down you know where. I think I'm gonna have to say see you on the next one. Happy holidays, everybody. Ciao for now.